my name is Zoe. Today I'm going to be making a pillowcase dress for an 18-inch doll. So an American Girl doll, a Journey doll, something like that. So you can come get this kit from So Studio. It includes 3 pieces of ribbon, 2 tape rolls, and a fat quarter of Mariner's cloth by Allison Glass. You may get pink or green. Today I'm going to be using pink. The first thing you want to do is you're going to lay out your fabric. Now you want to make sure that the right side is up. You also want one of the wide sides facing you. So you have 3 pieces of ribbon. You're going to find the longest one, and you're going to lay it across the bottom. You don't want to do too much because we're going to fringe this. So you want to do about 1.5 inches, something like that. So then you're going to put in some pins, and you want to make sure that you put in the pins from left to right so that you can take out the pins when you're sewing. I'm going to finish pinning, and then I'll see you at the sewing machine. Now I'm going to sew 1 line down the middle of the ribbon. Now you want to stop every once in a while so that you can adjust your ribbon to make sure that you're on the right track. Now that I've finished sewing this, I'm going to bring it back to the cutting board. Once you're back at the cutting table, you're going to lay your fabric out just as you had it before. Then you're going to fold it in half. Be sure to line up those edges very neatly. Then you're going to put some pins in. Be sure to put the pins in on the side opposite from your fold. You also want to put the pins in sideways this time so that you can pull them out as you go. I'm going to finish pinning, and I'll see you at the sewing machine. Now I'm going to sew along the side that I pinned. Be sure that when you get to a pin, you stop to take it out. Finish sewing this, I'm going to take it back over to the cutting table. Now we're going to cut out some armholes. For this, you want to make sure that your ribbon is at the top. Then you're going to take your folded side and you're going to fold it over to the other side. Make sure that the fold aligns with the seam that you just sewed. Then you're going to take a ruler and you're going to measure 2 inches from your fold. Make sure it's not from your raw edge, but from your fold. Then you're going to mark it. You can do this with a black pencil or a pen. Then you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure 6 inches. And you're going to mark that. This is going to be from the top of your fabric. Then take some sewing scissors and cut out the the letter J from mark to mark. Then you can put this aside. Then you're gonna unfold, and here are your armholes. Now you're gonna position your armholes so that they look like U's. Now it's time for the tape rolls. Take one of your tape rolls and start applying it to the side of your fabric. Make sure you stay along the edge. Once you get to the curve, you may have to start turning it a bit. This can be tricky. Once you get to the end, cut off the excess. Be sure to press down on your tape very hard before you start to peel it. This will make sure that your tape is very secure to your fabric. Once you've done that, start to peel off the white side of your tape. It should easily slide off. Once you've done that, make sure not to have this stick to your fingers, but fold it over. You want to make sure that you're folding it at the end of the tape. It should give you about this much of fabric. Now take your fabric over to your sewing machine. Once you've done that, be sure that your tape is very secure to your fabric. Then you're going to sew along the middle of your fold. Now, once you get to the curve, you want to stop every once in a while to make sure that your fabric is positioned in the right way. You may have to help it over the bump. Once you've done that, trim out your threads and go back over to the cutting table. Now repeat the exact same steps with the other armhole. Once you get back to the cutting table, you want to position your fabric in the way that both your J's are showing. Now you're going to fold down your top fabric about 1/2 inch or so. And you're going to put a pin in. This time you want it going up and down. But be sure not to get the bottom fabric with it, only the top fabric. Two or so pins will work. Then, flip your fabric over and do the same to the other side. Be sure that you don't keep it this way and fold it on top. And again, you don't want to pin the back fabric, only the top fabric. Now I'm going to go sew in the middle of these. Be sure that you don't sew both of your pieces of fabric together. You want to sew one at a time. I'm just going to sew straight down the middle of this. Now do the same to your other piece of fabric. We're going to fold it down a bit farther and put some pins in. Again, be sure only to pin the front fabric. So we're going to sew right along the fold on the bottom fold so that we can leave enough room for our ribbon to go through this channel. Now I'm going to take these over to the sewing machine to sew them. Now, just like I said before, you're going to sew right next to the bottom. Now you're going to sew right next to the bottom fold. Be sure only to sew one at a time. Now do the same to the other side. Now you can turn your dress right side out. Now, take the safety pin from your kit and one of the short pieces of your ribbon. Open up your safety pin and stick the pointy end into one of the ends of the short pieces of ribbon. Then close it back up. Now, take one of your channels and stick the safety pin inside. Hold the end with your thumbs, and with your other fingers, scrunch up a bunch of fabric on it. Then hold the end of the safety pin and pull all the fabric. Do this one more time. This time you should be able to hold the safety pin with your bare hands. Then pull your ribbon through. Now, hook the other piece of ribbon onto the safety pin. Close it up and stick it in the other channel. Again, scrunch up some fabric on it, hold the end, and pull. Do it again, and pull. try to make your fabric as even as you can. Try to make your ribbon as even as you can. Then tie these two ends in a pretty little bow. And these two ends in a pretty little bow. Our last step is to make pretty little fringe at the bottom. First, start by pulling these little threads. If it gets stuck, make a little snippet. This will help you get it started. It could take a while to get all this fringe. I'm just finishing up my fringe. And done. If you have some long pieces of fringe, take some scissors and trim them. Just give it a little haircut. And you're done. A cute pillowcase dress.